Hey guys, we are on the last stretch now. Last stretch. We are now under 23 hours until we can start the Tomb Kings campaign, and I decided from now on, from this day on, we're gonna be making going through all the patch notes and making highlight and a YouTube video, so people see what I think about the patch notes. Because after all, I know about the game stuff more than most people, to see how it affects the units and the changes. Yeah, just refresh people. We're gonna start reading this in a second. The patch notes are huge, huge. It's either they actually put everything this time in the patch notes, or this is one of the biggest updates ever. Starting in 1 minute, boys. 1 minute. This is gonna be highlight, so you can watch later and also on YouTube. I woke up late today. This is what happens, guys, when you stream for over 12 hours. Yesterday was a very long stream. Woke up late today, had to go to the store, shower, you know, preparation for Tomb Kings tomorrow. And stream was supposed to be up already, but got a little delayed. I'm still eating breakfast, so I'll try not to eat while reading patch notes, because my accent is only too powerful for you. Yeah. The moment I am allowed to start streaming Tomb Kings, I will within 30 minutes. I have an alarm with a countdown. It will ring very loud. Okay, let's see what it says here. We're gonna read everything. Guys, as usual, we might ignore a couple lines that mention multiplayer.
Oh my god! Have you seen that shit? Holy shit! What the hell?
Warnick, thank you for sub, appreciate it. And guys, please, the YouTube people will come banging on my doors. Try not to trigger the alerts during the reading of these patch notes. Don't wanna get any live threats from the YouTube people, because they hate this YouTube stuff, I think. Okay. So, Tomb Kings update patch notes and reworking Bretonnia. This was released today. Very nice picture here. Look at this, man. When I see pictures like this, I want to go watch the Mummy, the movie. Not the new one, the shit one, the old one, the good one, you know, the fun one. So let's see what it says here. If you want to skip straight to the patch notes, click here. We're gonna read all this. We're gonna read all this and see what they missed in the patch notes, because even with a huge patch notes list, they definitely not. It's not everything is here. Not everything is here. Alongside the release of the highly anticipated Tomb Kings, a small free update to one of the main old world races will be added to the game. In this article, senior designer Eva Jobs will tell you all about it. So I like where this is going. They might actually release more of these updates, because this is first one is for Bretonnia. It says here, at Creative Assembly, we are constantly evaluating our old content. And with Mortal Empires, it is important to us to evaluate Warhammer 1 factions as well. So they're definitely thinking about these things. So we might see more of these updates. With the release of Warhammer 2, the Vampire Count saw a massive warhold of their building tree. The Emperor gained more additional buildings and 3 new technologies. The Greenskins and Wood Elves got new buildings, and most races got access to a few more legendary buildings. The first time they mentioned this is a legendary building, I think. They talk about the landmarks, the unique buildings in specific regions. Legendary buildings. Why everybody uses legendary word these days? Like it's like they destroy the value of word legendary. I blame Blizzard. So this is the landmarks. The reprisal update added to the legendary lord skills and campaign bonuses from Warhammer 1 Foundation update, and gave all world lords and heroes access to the desirable immortality skill from Warhammer 2. Bretonnia felt a little left out, however, so this small update specifically affects them. So Bretonnia got a pretty good buff this update. I actually checked some in the beta, and a lot of good stuff. One thing that was very noticeable is that the Bretonnian tech tree relies heavily on race-specific upgrades, and all the targets of these technologies were old world factions only. With the new world adding many new races, it was only fitting to add some technology specific to these new races. In addition, we noticed that Bretonnia doesn't have many unit upgrades in the technology tree. Many make that 0, making them fall behind a bit when other races start to unlock their general unit upgrades in the middle game. We address this issue by adding a whole new section to the end of the tech tree that mostly includes unit upgrades for men-at-arms, archers, and knights of all sorts. So it looks like this area has been added here, plus something was added here. Can I click on this thing? Oh, I can actually open the next window. So this looks like there's some new technologies for money and technologies for the units. They also added you can improve relations with some of the good factions, and against evil factions, so you get bonuses and other stuff when you're fighting them. Oh, the hell! Let's go back. It says here, as you can see, the Bretonnian tech tree has been seriously beefed up with 20 additional technologies. 20 additional technologies. That's actually huge. It's like 20 additional technologies, man. Where's the green skin? Nobody likes the green skins. They're green and they ignore them. Poor green skins. No wonder they're all pissed all the time. With 20 additional technologies added on top of the existing 32, so Bretonnians now have 52 technologies. 52 technologies. Quite handy with the extended campaign length of Mortal Empires. 5 of the new techs focus on new world race in some way. On the far right side, a whole new section has been added as well, which contains a mix of unit buffs and buffs specific to certain types of buildings. Nice resolution. Let's take a look at some of these new techs in detail. So this is for the against the Tomb Kings. They get leadership and melee attack against Tomb Kings. It's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good because they need leadership and attack on their units when fighting enemies. Cavalry getting attack is pretty strong. All cavalry getting attack in is pretty strong. So this is one of the technologies here for the units. Plus 8 armor for all knights. Plus all armor for all knights. There is one technology here which makes the construction cheaper, and the construction time are faster for the stables and the pasture buildings. It says here the hay upgrade, for example, makes it much easier and faster to set up the base operations in newly conquered lands. So it's easier when you conquer something, and the climate penalty won't be as much for this stuff. This update is pretty much adding new factions to the campaign map. Of course, everything before there should be pretty much deleted, because the new Legend Lords on the map, new changes, new buildings. Update like this, you should pretty much delete all previous saves when you start this. On the this is actually interesting part. I did not see this when I was taking my look at the beta. Beta, it's not beta, it's beta. On the character side, we are very happy that the unique lord skills of the Warhammer 2 Legend Lords were well received. The reprisal update added some for most old world races already. But Bretonnia was one of the factions still left out. As much as we wanted to change a lot of the skill trees to make them unique, we had to be careful here, as moving or changing existing skills will break people's save games and make spent skill points disappear. So in the end, we decided to add 4 new skills for each of the Bretonnian Legend Lords on top of what I already have. So instead of changing stuff, they added stuff. It's like people gonna be playing their previous campaigns with the Tomb Kings present in the new campaigns. Each are specific to the areas the characters are famous for. So all 3 legendary lords got new skills, similar to how the Foundation update added new skills to the old legendary lords. So Bretonnia got this later on. Some of this stuff is actually pretty good. We don't see all of them here in detail, but we're not gonna spoil everything, you know. If we're gonna play Bretonnia, we're gonna get, look at shit, this is you, Bretonnia 2.0 release. Okay. This is the really good part here. This is a really good part here, and I'm really happy they're doing this. And stuff like this should be pretty much in every update. Small additions to the campaign map with every update is what people want. What I want to see every update. Add something new to that region, to that faction. Just add something. Makes the game get an injection of you know, freshness. So, you know, we just, you know, want to play more and more and more. But that's not all. One freaking bit of praise for Warhammer 2 is that there's legendary buildings, the landmarks, almost everywhere, making each province unique. So basically, there's a lot of provinces in the world, and a lot of these provinces don't have anything special. And I feel like over time, a lot of these provinces are going to get something special for this faction or that faction. And this is a further addition to this. We already added a few of these to the old world with the release of the Mortal Empires, such as the certain famous brewery near Blackfire Pass. They're talking about the Bugman's Brewery, which is a pretty powerful building. The Bloodkeep in Nuln and the Fortress of Merovech in Mucilon. There's always more we'd like to add. So with this update, we added 4 more legendary buildings to the old world. So one of these buildings is Peaks of Paramon. It's very interesting. I mean, Paramon is next to the Wood Elves. It's for the Wood Elves as well. The Wood Elves have outposts outside their forest. How this unique building will work with the outpost, I hope it will not just cancel any other buildings possible in these settlements, like you can only build one. Hopefully this is an additional construction slot for this outpost. Or if maybe part of the core building. It's a Peaks of Paramon for Bretonnia, Wood Elves and High Elves. There are different versions. But this building can be accessed by these 3 factions. So Bretonnia, Wood Elves and the High Elves. Interesting, the High Elves can get it as well. It says here Paramon is a mountainous dukedom famous for its Pegasi and other roosts of various flying creatures. And this building provides a boost to these kinds of units. Oh man, I can already see it. Great Murica plus 5 experience recruited locally for the High Elves. And Wood Elves, of course. The Forest of Lorelorn. There are different versions for Wood Elves, High Elves, Dark Elves, Empire and Bretonnia. Interesting, there's also Dark Elves on this list. In Salzamund is that big region, the west region in Nordland. This ancient enclave of elves, has been holding out in deep forests of the Empire since the War of the Beard, providing a potential source of warriors for elf races, or a potential training asset for human races. Providing a potential source of warriors for elf races. They've been hiding there. What does it mean? Is a garrison or a special unit there? This ancient enclave of elves have been holding out in the deep forests of the Empire since the War of the Beard, providing a potential source of warriors for elf races, or a potential trading asset for the human races. So for the elves, a source of warriors. Who knows what's gonna be there? Maybe gonna give you a set of recruitment units, like some kind of special barracks, maybe something unique. Or for the humans, it says a potential trading asset for the human races. Oh, this is what dwarves need. More gold mines. Old gold mine. There are different versions for dwarves, greenskins and Skaven. This is in Galbaras. Galbaras is the capital of the southern Badlands. You know, I wish the Galbaras, Karakazgal in the Blightwater and Ekrund had definitely more unique stuff. I wish that already before, since they were adding new stuff, and Galbaras finally gets its unique building. Hopefully they add something to Ekrund, Karakazgal, even Karakazul. All these holes need to have something special. This is far in the south. Galbaras is at the border with the land of the dead. at least in the Mortal Empires. I think it's also in the border with Land of the Dead or another region in the Southlands in the Vortex campaign. A source of the purest gold lies deep beneath the Badlands, and dwarves go to great length to recover it. Of course, man, dwarves need to control all the gold mines. Other deep-dwelling races may beat them to it, however. So, the Greenskins and the Skaven. Probably guys, Greens have like half the strength of the dwarf gold mine, and the Skaven have access to it as well. So, more income whoever controls Galbaras. Maybe even a unique garrison. Maybe this reminds me of something like a Brightstone mine. So we might get a bunch of money. Dwarves get iron breakers, Greens get shit. Skaven might get something else, who knows. And the fourth building that's been added, the ruins of Morcane. Different versions for Vampire Counts and certain Tomb King factions. Since it's mentioning Vampire Counts, it's probably for the, what's it called, the followers of Nagash. Followers of Nagash, led by the Archon the Black. It's probably for this faction specifically. Maybe I'm not sure if it's gonna be for yeah, probably for this faction. In Galbaras, also in Galbaras. So there's another unique building in Galbaras, which is separate from this building. Morcane was the capital of an ancient kingdom that practiced necromancy, later served by what we know now as the String of Empires. It once occupied most of the Badlands. Some ominous ruined crypts still exist. ... Okay. It says here, we hope you will enjoy everything the new release has to offer, and will continue working hard. And we will continue, and we'll hope you'll enjoy everything the new release has to offer, and we'll continue working hard to make Mortal Empires the best strategy experience out there. That's what I want to hear. Mortal Empire second to none. Warhammer 3 merge campaign second to none. It's gonna be something really next level insane to top this campaign in any other Total War gonna be released. As this is the biggest Total War campaign up to date. So Tomb Kings update. Tomb Kings are coming with this. They're available to me tomorrow at this time, and to the peasants in 4 days. It says here, after millennia, sleeping beneath the sands of Nekara, Cetra and the Tomb Kings rise again to build their empire anew. Those who don't own the Rise of the Tomb Kings campaign pack will of course encounter them under AI control over the course of their Eye of the Vortex and Mortal Empire campaigns. Also available is Stretch Creventail, Warhammer 2 Free Legendary Lord. On their Frill Sea planner, we've seen 3 free Legendary Lords, which means 3 new factions. This doesn't mean new faction, but I think there's gonna be new factions. This is the first of them. He exemplifies the Skaven qualities of underhandedness, furtiveness, and sublime guile. All these words, man, it's like Mambo Jumbo 1, Mambo Jumbo 2, Mambo Jumbo 3. I know what they mean, but you know, they are very tricky words. And he occupies a unique starting position up in Nagaroth. So he starts in Nagaroth. Oh boy. We have to strangle them Dark Elves before they can recruit any equality. You can download him free from Steam Workshop, Steam Warhammer's 2-page extra content listing. So it's not gonna be a part of update. You're gonna have to add it to your library, add it to your game. I already see a lot of people that are like, where the hell is my free legendary Skaven Lord? So you're gonna have to go to Steam, and same as for the Jade Wizard, you have to acquire this content. If anybody actually doesn't know about this, we'll solve for a second. So you go to the shop, and you can see there stuff like Grey Wizard, stuff like Jade Wizard, stuff like Wurzak. Some of this stuff needed to be claimed in the store. Some of you might still miss this content unless you add it to your Steam library through searching the Steam store. Like let's see if you can get it like this. So Jade Wizard. So you have to go to Total Warhammer Jade Wizard, and you have to claim this content. If you don't claim this content, you will not have it. It's not part of an update, so you have to get it from the Steam store as a free content. Anyways, go back to patch notes. This is how probably gonna be for the Scale Lord as well.
Finally got my January scholarship money, so why not pop my donation cherry on my favorite streamer? Keep it up, Alec. Love seeing you defy all odds in TW. Lots of loves, yo-oh.
Ray Brian donated 20 bucks. Thank you, appreciate it, and thank you for the warm words. Nice words. Okay. Luminar actually I knew a few people who didn't know about this. Last time Dr. Arcade was one of them. He didn't have this content when he played the Empire campaign. Just one example. Anyways, what the hell? Yeah, we are here. Bretonnia additions, not really much here. Just a bunch of technologies here. It's like they're cool, you know, technologies, new technologies. What the hell they do? We have to read in the game. So new skills for the Loon Lanker, doesn't say what it does. New skills for the Albric, the Borlegs, and new skills for the Fey Enchantress. So they get new skill lines. Hopefully, the Albric ones actually is a good one, because Albric has been, you know, he's a cool lord, but let's face it, guys. Let's face it, he's underwhelming. He's really underwhelming. He's like a insert name, generic Bretonnian lord, you know, clone. So hopefully this makes him better. And hopefully, also, guys, I think let me guess. Let me guess this before we read further. I've seen in the beta there are no more trade tariffs. I've seen in the beta there are no more trade tariffs. It's now plus trade percentage. So they either change the wording so that we can make fun of them anymore, or they actually now have, instead of tariffs, things that buff the overall trade, which I think is the latter, things that buff the overall trade. And I'm mentioning this because Albric faction effect used to buff tariffs plus 5%. Who would want to play board legs with plus 5% tariffs? And now it should be plus 5% trade. You know, so flat trade plus 5% over all the tables, the tables of the tariffs, resources, and of course the long-term partnership. And I bet my left ball, or the right one, which one you prefer, that this is not in the patch notes. The trades to the tariffs and the trade, the more tariffs and the trade gets buffed as a whole. I bet this is not in the patch notes. Okay, let's continue. So a bunch of new skills for these lords, new technologies. Not only will read this. This is the new landmark buildings. We already read about this in the above. Okay, so, oh, look at this. Look at this. Old World Legendary Lord Trait updates. Karl Franz used to give only +2 leadership. +2 leadership for his army, which is so powerful. And now also gives +10 to diplomatic relations with Empire provinces. What will this mean, that this +10 diplomatic relations with Empire provinces? It will mean that the Talak backland will worship you probably in the early game. They already really biased towards you. Middle land probably gonna have better relations with you, much better now. They're not gonna hate you as much. But most importantly, one of the quests for Karl Franz for the sword, Nordland, you need a defensive alliance in Nordland. You might actually initiate treaties with Nordland and get an alliance before the great power penalties kick in, and you can actually complete this quest before you get the rank required to do the quest for the Galmaraz. So this might actually make sense. You know, you can actually get an alliance in Nordland possibly, especially if you get cozy with Boris as well. So it's going to be overall easier diplomacy with the Empire. Make sure to do this diplomacy before the great power build up. You sign those treaties early, the great power penalty will not matter. So easier diplomacy with Midland, Nordland, possibly even Stirland from the start. Wissenland, Marienburg might be less intent to attacking you. So this is gonna be a slightly less bad RNG for the Empire early game. Slightly less bad RNG for the Empire early game. Good stuff. This is actually good stuff. Especially for the Steerland and Whistland. Whistland is, you know, guys, you know me, we're not gonna go into this, but Whistland is better than Barenburg. If you can get Whistland early, easier, that would be really good. And they can just get aggressive into the vampires. So this is a good change. This is a good change. Because the Whistland, you know, gets attacked by the Skull Takers, possibly Crooked Moon, and Karakin as well, and they are under pressure to snap easily compared to other factions, and might even be easy to confederate them now. So Azak gains plus 15% leadership aura size and plus 8 leadership aura effect. So looks like Azak has become like one of them low tier generals leading a rebel around. I mean, this is good, especially with the very hard being introduced back in the game. The Orc Boys need to fight longer. I mean, Dwarf Warriors win on a Legendary against the Orc Boys simply because the Dwarf Warriors have more leadership. Grimgor now, along with the plus leadership for the Black Orcs. The Black Orcs don't need leadership, but this makes them fight to the death more often. So this is okay, nothing special. He gets addition to the overkill leadership buff. He gets overkill armor buff for the Black Orcs, because the Black Orcs have already too much armor. So this plus 5 armor, it's nice addition. Nice addition, gives you more advantage. You know, the Black Orcs might actually survive longer to get that into melee to kill people. But plus 5 armor for the Black Orcs doesn't really matter much. It would be better if it was a plus 5 melee defense. Black Orcs lack melee defense, they already have too much armor. So this will just make the Black Orcs, you know, take slightly less damage. But really no big deal. Both these buffs are overkill because the Black Orcs already have excessive amount of leadership and armor in the first place. Thorgrim looks like they also done Thorgrim in the same fashion as the Azak. You know, not a copy-paste at all. Because dwarves need aura size and they need leadership. You don't want dwarf warriors not to fight to every single beard to the death. Archaean has an interesting thing now. He used to have plus 25% raising income, which is quite beautiful. You know, he's basically just click this settlement. Ooh, look at this, make the bank. Huge cities just give us so much money with Archaean. That's why one of the things, you know, Archaean is good to start with. Archaean also now grants physical resist to Chaos Knight units in the army. And I actually like this. I actually like this change because I'm a fan of Chaos Knights. Chosen Chaos Knights, Hell Cannons all the way. And Chaos Knights getting 10 physical resistance on top of their already ridiculous armor and 50 base melee defense. This will make Chaos Knights even further tankier. You know, Chaos Knights are really tanky. They're more tanky than they're offensive, although good in offense as well. But this is gonna make them really tanky. Unless the artillery is shooting them in melee combat, this is gonna be really nice. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Bug fixes and improvements. Here we go, boys. Here we go. Here we go. Headline improvements. So this one, like one on the top, highlighted. Rebalanced the Grand and Vortex campaigns to reduce Dwarf supremacy. That's bullshit. What did you do? What? Doesn't say anything. Where? What did they do? Must be just a line of text. They did nothing. Rebalance the Grand and Vortex campaigns to reduce Dwarf supremacy. What exactly did they do to do this? What did they do? They lowered the dwarf multipliers to money, to upkeep, what? This definitely change is most welcome, but it doesn't say what they did exactly. Dwarves were overpowered. At times look really almost borderline broken. Dwarves needed definitely toning down. So this is a most welcome change. So who knows what they done? My best guess would be either something with upkeeps, recruitment costs, oral changes to the upkeeps to the recruitment cost, or balance of power changes to the dwarf infantry artillery. Already making the regiments of renown have 10 turn cooldown would be more than they ever done here, because the dwarf regiments of renown are the reason why the dwarves are overpowered. Because those regiments of renown have such an insane balance of power favor that without the cooldown the dwarves cannot die. It takes a freak accident for it to happen. Okay, next thing says here, improved drop orders units responsiveness during battle. This is a good change. So units will go less idle. Have you ever sent a unit to bats under Marauder Horsemen and you know, oh, those bats are fast, they're gonna catch them, they're gonna get them, they're gonna kill them. But then minutes later, you see a Marauder Horseman, your left flank, shooting your Graveguard in the back at a perfect angle to ignore the shield defense, and you notice, where the fuck are your bats? They're dead, crumbled, disintegrated. Then you go check replay, and you see those idiot bats stop moving for a second, and then those Marauder Horsemen killed them all, and then went to your red flank to kill all your Graveguard as well. So hopefully this will fix, you know, a lot of these things. This is a common thing that used to happen in the game. Not only for the bats, but also for the Chaos Warhounds, any really chasing, and even, you know, the regular melee and stuff. How much time until TK? 23 hours or so. And what do we say here? Improved Skaven units in auto-resolve. Oh, this is a good change. The Skaven auto-resolve didn't make no sense. Because how do you take in account a faction who's supposed to gain advantage with numbers and surrounding the enemy? You can't put this in balance of power. So you have to improve their units in balance of power, because Skaven surrounding other units, even with weaker units like even Skaven slaves, clan rats, well, they can win just because they outnumber them. So the Skaven needed improvements to the auto-resolve balance of power. What do we have here? Added a checkbox to the army panel in campaign, so when enter notifications are disabled, the notification for the selected army will be enabled. Hallelujah, hallelujah! So I don't forget my my encamped armies, because it's very convenient to just click the next thing, this hero, this building, this army, this lord, move that. So if army is encamped, I can tick it, so I can actually still get it. Hopefully it works on the encamp, because the encamped armies are getting ignored for some reason. Hopefully this will work for that. But this is a nice quality of life, change. So it's very important those notifications, you know, work properly and are reliable, because you don't want to miss a turn with an army when there are 3 armies coming after you. Especially when you have like 50 settlements and 10 armies. But I'm talking about 10 armies. You can't have 10 armies, like 6-7 armies with 50 settlements. Thank you, says James. And hey, Jikal. Hopefully it's for the heroes as well. So we'll see how this works. Hopefully works on the encamped armies, because encamped armies, you encamp an army, it will not tell you, you know, you can move this army for a turn. And sometimes I forget an encamped army, because you know there's so many things, you know, to do in the turn. Turns can take even over an hour, and you can forget about these things. Okay, look at this, boys. Battle AI is now less inclined to use deep unit formations, 5 units deep, and will use more varied and wider formations where appropriate. That is interesting. And glad to see they're actually thinking about stuff like this. Pretty much this line says, we did such a huge oversight and we forgot to put very hard battle difficulty in the campaign. and we finally now put very hard battle difficulty in the campaign. And it doesn't say here, but you can change battle difficulty now at any time. So as we already know, the battle difficulty is fixed. That is very hard back in the game, and I can tell you already, even from the differences from the current campaign, the previous campaigns, the AI hards as the same as the Warhammer 1. Longer, we're gonna see again 0 health units with steady leadership, fighting to the death, and AI dealing way more damage, slowing down the player snowball effect, and making the campaign harder, or harder. So you're gonna have to play battles even better. But for some reason I seen in beta that you can change battle difficulty at any time, even during campaign, as long as you're not in the battle. So if you're struggling very hard, you can put it on hard or normal or easy while playing a legendary campaign. But very hard brings up the battle difficulty that was in Warhammer 1, which is much harder than Warhammer 2. Was until now, until this point. So the campaigns are gonna be even more difficult. Factions like the Greenskins, even the Undead to some extent without battle skills leadership, especially Crooked Moon, Bretonnia, even Beastmen, gonna struggle much more now with the proper battle difficulty. But nobody gonna struggle as much as probably Greenskins and Skaven as the new difficulty changes. Okay guys, everybody and their mother complain about this. You know, my least favorite thing to see in the chat, man, this AI is stupid, this AI is retarded, this AI is, you know, so broken. I don't like to see this type of lines in my text. We know, you know, guys, the AI is not Skynet, so stop talking shit in the chat, you know, just use the lulls, just use the emotes. Don't need to say this thing for a million times. We know, you know, it can be better. I mean, just think about it. The Rome 2 AI had maybe 1.5, 2 brain cells. Warhammer 1 AI had maybe 3.5, 4 brain cells, while the Warhammer 2 AI up until now had 5.5, 6 brain cells. Let's say 6 brain cells, because it can surprise you sometimes, but they are working on adding more brain cells. Keep in mind, guys, if they add a few more brain cells to the AI, most people will be overwhelmed. They will not be able to complete a very hard campaign. Then people will start complaining to nerf difficulty. Then we're gonna have you know, they're gonna nerf the game. So you have to be careful what you wish for, because it might ruin the game long term, because they need to streamline the difficulty. Because, you know, everybody wants to play legendary, nobody wants to play normal, everyone wants to have, you know, the big thing in their pants. So, you know, they're probably gonna nerf legendary instead of people, you know, telling people to go play normal difficulty. So be careful what you wish for. Extra brain cells will overwhelm most humans. Battle AI in this now less likely to clump when attacking a high combat potential unit or lord, which used to make them easy to kill with ranged units or by flanking the clumped army. This is a great change, but we're back to Warhammer now. Warhammer 1 behavior now. You can still use multiple heroes or lords to achieve this. Let's say if you've been watching my Dwarf campaign with the High King, me sending High King forward because he cannot die, pulling the whole army on him, most of the army except the flankers. In Warhammer 1, how I done this, I would have Thane on the left side, Runesmith on the right side, the High King in the center. You still have 3 high targets, so if they're not gonna focus one guy, they're gonna focus 3 guys. They're still gonna clump up, but they're not gonna be clumping up 10 units on the same spot. Instead, they're gonna be clumping up on 3 different spots with varying amount of units on each spot. You still can achieve this, because after all, you're playing a ranged army with super tanky characters. So this will this is a great change. No longer, you know, they'll go on one target, because 10 units fighting a single guy will achieve nothing. You need like 3 units stop on a single guy. Spreading around, we're gonna see how this behavior will work. But this sounds like a great change. Great change. If you guys watch any of my Warhammer 1 Dwarf campaigns, you would have seen we used to use multiple heroes to block the enemy movement towards our gun lines, our artillery, with Tormentor swords, various debuffs. So pretty much this effect will be less, but you can still use such a strategy. what we have next here is improved battle AI outflank analyzer to check the number of entities currently in the unit, rather than the initial number. This will prevent the battle AI from attempting to outflank an already engaged unit and surround single entity units under certain conditions. So the way I read this and understand this is if a unit of Chaos Knights enters battle with 60 and gets murdered by the cannons and drops down to like 13, the AI will try to use these 13 knights better, and not thinking they have 60 Chaos Knights going all Rambo style into another unit. This will prevent the battle AI from attempting to outflank an already engaged unit and surround single entity units under certain conditions. Single entity units under certain conditions. So they're going to know what their number is at all times. And not like they enter the battle with 6, they still think they have 60. I mean, if they didn't even put this note, they didn't even put this type of patch note in the notes, because nobody even, nobody even care about stuff like this. Stuff like this don't even need to be in patch notes. Just add it and let's pretend the game works better. Old world legendary lore traits and Bretonnia updates. Yeah, okay, we already read this. Technical and performance improvements. Okay, guys, if you wanna go read this, you can go check it out in the page notes. We're gonna skip this. Campaign technical improvements. Let's see what it says here. Fixed a rare end turn crash when an agent was left as an only unit in a force and dies of attrition at the end of the round. Never had this happen. FPS performance have been improved when zooming out to max distance on the campaign map on some configurations. Yeah, this one might actually work for me right now. Fix the multiple campaign desync in the end of the turn. What the hell? What? Skip. Fix the Mortal Emperor's campaign crash during end turn cycle for the Lizardman faction. Oh, this sounds familiar. This sounds familiar, guys. What happened in our first Techless campaign? The game was crashing constantly during the Lizardman faction, but it was in the Eye of the Vortex. So it looks like there was some kind of glitch as well in the in here as well. You guys remember my first Techless campaign before we had to restart, when the game was crashing during the Lizardman faction turn? And so now it says here happening as well in Mortal Empires. But they fixed it. They fixed it. Fixed DirectX 12 bug for SLI users where the diplomacy colors map overlay and storm seas would flicker in campaign modes. I'm not playing DirectX 12 or the SLI. Fixed the crash that could occur when alt-tabbing out during load screens. Well, I'm playing in window mode, so window full screen, so this doesn't cause any problem for me before. The way to play this game, guys, is window full screen. The game works way better. Especially if you have multi-screens. Most people these days have multi-screens, so you need such an option. Fixed a rare crash that would occur when removing units from an army on an AI faction during the end of turn sequence. Fixed a rare crash that would occur when removing units from an army on an AI faction during the end turn sequence. I don't think we had any of these problems. It's a rare crash, so it seems it's very rare. Guys, remember that one time patch introduced this bug where would you disband units, the game would crash like half the times. So disbanding units would like be a lottery. The game crashed or not. And that was the most crashes we had in Warhammer with that the bug introduced with that patch. So you would disband things and the game would crash. Glad that I fixed that. Fix the crash when a lord is disbanded after hero is given the command to abandon the army. Wow. Hey, definitely think of everything. So you're telling me some person has sent their hero to the lord and while the hero was moving, he like, oh shit, I don't need this lore, I'm gonna disband him. And the hero, he disbanded him so fast, like pss, zoom zoom disband, and the game crashed. And this happened so many times that they actually had to fix this crash. Somebody reported this. Why would you disband the lord if you send a hero to his army? Okay, but I'm glad the bugs are getting fixed. Fixed an end-turn crash when a lord died and the only other unit left in the army was a hero. Okay, we didn't have any of these issues. Okay, anyways, enough with the technical improvements. Let's go check the gameplay improvements. Campaign under gameplay improvements, the first one says campaign AI is now more likely to correctly deploy agents in regions owned by different subculture in order to apply the negative effects. Ooh, brain cells improving, brain cells growing. Wood elf rebels no longer suffer from undead attrition. Undead wood elves? The shit doesn't exist. The lake on the campaign map at Torfino has been visually improved. Okay. In the Eye of the Warriors campaign, the campaign AI now prioritizes attacking closer ritual locations if they can. So brain cells going up. It is no longer possible to ask allied factions to join wars against intervention armies and Chaos Skaven armies which are spawned when performing a ritual. I wasn't even thinking about this. Some kind of abuse here. Oh, looks like another abuse here. The load a save game option is no longer available after failing to stop the AI from winning the Vortex campaign on Legend difficulty. The skills affecting stats for Severus Temple Guards now also applies to Placed Temple Guards. Hallelujah! Praise, what's his name? Sotek. Praise Sotek. Added new traits to the Bretonnian Damsel Hero unit. New traits for the Bretonnian Damsel Hero unit. Hopefully she has that knowledgeable trait. People like to discard that trait, but that's probably one of the strongest traits. Which gives faction-wide increases to the Winds of Magic Power Reserve. The Knight of Cain mission has a button which will now correctly take you to the Hero of Ranit location. Yeah, Bretonnia got the most buffs so far. This is pretty much Tomb Kings and Bretonnia update patch. Tomb Kings release and Bretonnia update patch. Hopefully they're gonna do this faction updates with other factions as well. Greenskins, and maybe they even rework the technologies for the Crooked Moon and the Bloody Hands, because those two factions just put me in a real depression. Just thinking about them. Box of Eerie Noises can no longer be collected from 6 encounters because it's meant to be crafted only. Grimgor was always powerful. His traits just add overkill leadership and armor to the Black Orcs. It will definitely be okay because they will fight nearly to death now. But the Black Orcs don't need more leadership or armor, they need melee defense and attack. So those updates to the Black Orcs are just overkill, but still help. Grimgor was always powerful. Grimgor have plus 55% weapon strength on his skill tree, on top of 500 weapon strength, which is mainly armor piercing. When you use Git Sneak with all the weapon strength skills, Grimgor hits probably the hardest in the whole game. Corrected the requirements for the Martial Prowess mission. I'm not even sure what that means. The Greenskin Field mission reward has been fixed. Fixed a loyalty gain exploit when adding or removing followers to character. Are these bug fixes or gameplay improvements? What the hell? The Black Ark can now return to full speed stance after moving and switching stance. Added a Hall of Oaths building chain to the Mount Gumbart settlement to Ripix province. I didn't even notice it was missing. Garrison armies no longer gain experience from special buildings, rights, and lord abilities. Oh boy, this is a nice balance. This is a nice balance. Vlad used to be on the top powerful list because he gives his experience faction wide. This is definitely indirect nerf to Vlad. There are some other unique buildings which provide experience to units as well. I think Clan Angrund has one at Karakate Peaks. But this is definitely a nerf to Vlad. As Vlad could easily get your garrisons rank 4 and higher in no time. And Vlad defenses would be close to the strength of the dwarf garrisons, and would make very hard to attack von Karstein garrisons. This might not even be like a nerf. This is probably a balance change for the AI interaction with another AI, because let's say von Karsteins somehow become powerful. No other AI, every other AI will have a disadvantage attacking their cities, because the experience added to their units will add so much balance of power value to the undead units that nobody will be able to win. Also for the Clan Angrund, which is matters less because they usually get conferred by the dwarves. But if ever the von Karsteins gets very, very large, they get really impervious to attacks, and they have huge advantage. Just keep snowballing more. But this is actually a good balance change. This is a good balance change. Vlad is no longer as powerful, and the garrisons need to earn their experience, not get higher ranks just by playing the campaign. This is good. This is good. Saffron says hi. They didn't fix the invocation of Nehek yet. What's wrong with the invocation of Nehek? You're talking about what you talking about? It's kind of been a little bugged in Warhammer 1. It would not affect, the target in the area range. But who cares about Warhammer 1 anymore? We don't play Warhammer 1 anymore. But yeah, use English here. Use English here. Not sure what you meant about the invocation of Nehek. Invocation of Nehek is more or less fine. In Warhammer 1, not so much, because they messed up the self and nearby effects. No longer targets self unless you cast it on yourself. That thing is normal. That's one of the criteria for the spell, Saffron. That's one of the criteria for the spell. I wouldn't say that's a bug. That's one of the criteria. You cannot cast a heal if you're kept. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Necromancer, the lord or Necromancer has exhausted his power for battle and cannot use it anymore. For now. It's perfectly explained, even from the roleplay perspective. That is fine. I wouldn't consider that a bug. Chaos Incursion armies are now more likely to recruit additional units. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Does this mean that the servants to Chaos, Vessels of Chaos, and Puppets of Chaos will start recruiting and replenishing? It's actually gonna be hard now, dealing with these factions. Holy shit, add another brain cell to the Chaos. I hope it doesn't mean like that, because that's actually gonna make them dangerous and not just annoying. Fix the effect gained from doing the treasure hunt event on Dead Sentinels. Let's go back to saying for this. If you guys don't know, the Chaos factions, other than the Voice of Chaos and Warhead of Chaos, they do not replenish. They totally ignore try to replenish, and they do not recruit units. If they got a new behavior where they will try to replenish move away from the threats and add new units to the armies that actually makes them dangerous, very dangerous, and not just annoying. Doesn't matter if they have 9 armies or 10 armies or 20 armies, because they were not replenishing, recruiting, and they were suiciding. But if this changed their behavior, other than some self-preservation, recruitment, replenishment, this is going to make them dangerous. Almost as dangerous as the actual warriors of chaos. Hey guys, we are reading patch notes. This highlight will be on Twitch and YouTube. Hopefully it will not take more than 3 hours to read this, as it's a huge patch. Might be a huge patch, maybe we finally get all the patch notes in the actual patch. What do we have here? Fix the requirements for unlocking the secondary skills in the Beastman Gorbel skill tree. So no longer you can click one point on the left side and immediately unlock the final side to get extra effect on top of the previous ones by avoiding getting 2 skill points. That was kind of like a exploit, just an oversight. I need to get some water, guys. I need to get some water. Been talking too much. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Okay, we're back. Okay. The Greenskins and Wurzak can now build more resource buildings. The Greenskins and Wurzak can now build more resource buildings. So Wurzak is not part of Greenskin tribes. He's a dirty savage orc. I mean, the Greenskins, they don't have resources. They don't have the resource for trade. But I guess these resource buildings give them specific buffs to the unit recruits, experience, and the upkeep reductions. The visualization of for storms at sea on the water surface no longer is offset. Fix the bug where the income and public order would not change. Update if the player unticks the tax province feature while on the building browser. I don't even not even experience that. Fixed cases where construction of buildings in campaign would take less time in harsh climates rather than more time. Not really experienced that. Quick's objective to control Karakat Peaks can no longer be achieved by forming a military alliance with a faction that controls it. Needs to own the settlement himself. Yeah. Not played with Quick yet. When capturing Wurbat Askan Angrund, the city no longer has two identical defense building chains. Talk about tower sites. When Vlad uses Lightning Strike ability, Isabella will no longer be able to reinforce him in battle. This actually happened in Warhammer 1. Remove some construction cost reduction buffs from common buildings to fix and exploit. Of course, there was been exploit, 30 exploiters. Improved cases where AI faction would offer a non-aggression pact on one turn and end the pact on the next for no apparent reason. This is very rare, but yeah, this happened. The Silver Host faction won't recruit so many corpse cards anymore. Guys, one second, I need to answer the phone. Sorry guys, my nephew just came from the school, just have to give me some food. Okay, let's go back. Where were we? Okay. Added some missing animation from Reaper Bolt Rovers units in the Black Creek Raiders Rogue Army. Okay. The Beastman for Gore and Glory has been fixed. So can no longer be completed by recruiting the wrong unit type. Okay. I guess they're fixing some glitches, probably introduced by the Mortal Empire. So I haven't played with most of the factions, so I'm not even familiar with a lot of this stuff. Skaven corruption will now give extra menace below changes when intended. Because it used to give, say, like 6, but you will get 5 in battle. I guess they fixed that. Patch is gonna get released in about 5 days. We have early access tomorrow. Already at this time, we're gonna be playing Tomb Kings with the new patch. I had this patch for the last 6 days, but
oh my God!
I just checked some of the changes.
Have you seen that shit? Holy shit! What the hell?
Hey Delera, thank you for using Prime here. I have not seen personally on my PC nothing on the Tomb Kings and the new Skaven Lord, so it's gonna be first look for me. Same for you guys. Try to avoid all the spoilers, and just want to know who has the Hero Titan, and we are starting with him tomorrow. Fixed an issue where the top notes faction became a migrating horde. They were no longer able to have any buildings or recruit new units. And I actually noticed some glitchy behavior with the top notes. I noticed some glitchy behavior with top notes, so I guess this is gonna fix it. When the campaign AI captures Karakit Peaks and then allies with Kalan Angrut, you will no longer see Belagar Iron Hammer travel to stand outside to the settlement indefinitely. Oh my god. I'm glad we didn't experience any of these glitches. Don't you just love it when you're reading page notes and you hear about these bizarre glitches, but you never really experience any of it yourself? Don't you just glad it's been fixed, that you never seen this? Because you would just hammer on the brain. Okay. Fix some instances where the balance of power will be further in the enemy's favor when the reinforcements are used compared to without. Oh, we experienced this. We definitely experienced this. Guys, are you ready? Are you ready for the biggest change here? The most important patch note in the whole patch. Kazrak, the One Eyes recruitment cost reduction from best good units has been improved from -4% brain damage, and it's now -30%. Holy shit, they're gonna save so much money, them beast, man. This is like the new power economy, powerhouse. They're gonna, the Khazar are gonna stop recruiting the Minotaurs and all other units, just gonna spam Bestigors now. Every single turn, just Bestigors. Quick head takers make it better. Mission can now be completed when taking control of a settlement with a layer already constructed. Okay. Yeah, definitely oversized with missions like this. Fixed an issue where the Dragon Cloak of Firskar could be completed when raiding with an army other than Ungrims. Okay. Research rate is now low capped at 0 and will no longer go negative. Holy shit, it will go negative. I guess if multiple guys are harassing you, they can put your research to 0 or under 0. So what are you losing technologies at that point? What the hell? Disbanded Black Arcs no longer count toward victory objectives. We can build Reichsfort now in Marienburg. Fixed an issue where Wave Watchers did not get armor piercing damage bonus from the Hawkish Precision ability. I think we actually experience this from time to time. Skaven will now have the Great Power Diplomatic Penalty. Which means, oh, you poor Skaven, they're gonna come to you, they're gonna get you, they're gonna murder you. Great Power Penalty for the Skaven. No longer the Skaven gonna get ignored. Because, you know, Skavens, you know, they're a very important piece of diplomacy. They're really important part of diplomacy. So they have to get the negative ones, so they get people deny their deals and they come and get you. When conversing with Cetran diplomacy, players must verbally address him using his entire title train, regardless of any embarrassment this may cause due to the presence of family members. What the hell? You must address Setter verbally, guys, all his titles. You have to memorize them as well. They forgot to mention here, you have to memorize all his titles. Otherwise, you cannot do any diplomacy with him. Luminarch of Heesh can now be recruited in Safari and Grond. Okay. Because of the special buildings. Garrisons that exceed 20 units should now prioritize units of higher tier when considering what units to take into battle. Hallelujah. No more. It's not like we're gonna play with Krugman again, but no more you get Night Goblins over Trolls in Krugman garrisons. This is a great change. Look at this, boys. Look at this. The AI is getting brain cells. Improved balance of power calculations for complex battles. It's no longer click, 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 click. Now it's it's better. It's get better. Just gonna be one click now. Improved balance of power calculation for complex battles. I don't know. This sounds like a good change. Looking forward to see the new balance of power in the world. Did they upset the balance of the universe, or did they improve it? Find out in the next campaign, or the next 10 campaigns. Added some missing Greenskin Garrison hero characters. Of course, man. Of course, the Greenskin had missing Garrison hero characters. Wurza can now once again construct a special Savage Orc building chain. Because the Bloody Hands, the Savage Orcs, they don't have the Savage Orc building chains. They forgot about stuff like this because they're not the Savage Orcs. Savage Orcs resource added to the Floating Pyramid settlement in both the Vortex and Mortal Empires campaigns. Savage Orc resource. What the hell? You gonna trade Savage Orcs? I'm gonna give you 3 Savage Orcs for a barrel of Dwarf beer. This means you can be able to build the Savage Orcs building in Lastria. Okay. Battle. Okay, let's see. Holy shit, these patch notes are huge. Quick Head Taker can now use his Menace Bill ability when entering the battle as a reinforcement. Magic missiles such as high Dark Elf arrows. Magic missiles such as high Dark Elf arrows will steer more aggressively towards the target. Holy shit! Does this mean they actually buffed all archers with magic attacks? And they have more accuracy because of this? Magic missiles such as high Dark Elf arrows will steer more aggressively towards the target. This sounds like a great change. Finally, some benefit to having magic missiles, magic attacks, magic missiles, which is magic attacks. Improved how large groups of multiple units navigate through destroyed gates in siege battles. In some cases, they don't go climb the wall. The Skin Cohort melee unit is a melee unit. Of course, it's a melee unit. A lot of people got their ideas this was a range unit. Suppose people probably never played Rome 2 or the Romans. Will no longer use the wrong idling for animation when standing on a wall. I think this means because if an archer unit has magic attacks, it's not actually magic attacks. They fire magical ammunition. So I guess the wording here says magical missiles, because they do not have magic attacks. They have magical ammunition. So when they fire this ammunition, it seems they're gonna have more accuracy. Or you're talking about Error of Cornus? Might be Error of Cornus as well. Might be that as well. Magic missiles. But Wood Elves, that is the Wood Elf attack, not the High Elf or Dark Elf attack. It says arrows here. I think the wording here is weird, because it's magical ammunition. So magical missiles, it says arrows here. We'll see, we'll see. Army abilities can now target and be used directly on a unit card. Okay, so you just click on the card. But why would they improve it for these guys and not what else? I think it's the magical ammunition. Improve the scaling routing in prelude battle. The enemy AI no longer recovers from routing and stands around idle. Okay. After winning a battle, when the player chooses to round down the enemy rather than end battle, the battle music will no longer stop playing when they're using the tactical map. What tactical map? Improve artillery pad finding in the corners of the playable battle area. Hamasake, the chariot have magic ammunition. The what's it called? The Tyrannok chariot has magical ammunition. Yeah, we have to wait. You know, we can just speculate all day here. Hey, Dumina. Reduce the likelihood of the battle AI sending units one by one to attack siege gates. Hallelujah! Brain cells improving. Brain cells improving. The AI will no longer just wait to send a unit after unit with the siege equipment. They might send all the flying units and everything at once as well. This was random. You know, they have towers. They have RAM. And they send artillery for the siege equipment first, and the flying units stay in the air. But sometimes they attack the wall as well. The siege defender's reinforcing AI is now less likely to hold its ground when entering the battle. Okay, some collision added here. It's referring to the hero and lord abilities that are magic missiles from the skill tree. The room in line with Wood Elf 1 does not affect units. Okay, okay. Makes sense. Davey, where are you from? Improved matched fatal attack animations for the High Elf Sun Dragon. Okay. Improved Cold One's matched combat animations, which could cause certain units to warp around when attacking by them. I didn't notice this. Improved Terror and Riders match combinations being misaligned when attacking certain units, Chaos Warriors or Goblin Nasty Skulkers. The future. The future. Improve the animation when the Blessed Carnosaur eats enemy units. I just love this line. I just love this line. I just love it. When Blessed Carnosaur eats enemy units. That's what I want to see, man. I want to see dinosaurs eating people. That's why I played Lisbon. Added more exit points to some battle maps so units route in better direction. Okay. Routing units are no longer able to attack their pursuers. This has actually happened. I actually had this happen at least 5 times, even more. Improved how the Soul Stealer special ability miscasts. Okay. Fixed a bug where hell cannons would shoot over the top of their target with certain map topography. Yoo-hoo! Improved cases in choke point battles where the battle AI would approach the choke point but not engage with the enemy on the other side of it, or stand still on the other side of the choke point and receive missile damage. Hallelujah! This has been an issue in Total War games since like forever, except less so in Warhammer. Why they never fix this in Rome 2? Stuff like this needs to get fixed in Rome 2. In Rome 2, it's a full retard AI on the other side of the river. Here, I noticed this in Warhammer a few times, but in Warhammer it's way better than Rome 2. This is sounds like a great change. You want to make those battles less, you know, lackluster and more interesting fights. Improve the responsiveness to attacking enemy units on walls when defending a siege battle. Improve the responsiveness to attacking enemy units on walls when defending a siege battle. Are you getting smart? Yes. Improve the battle AI in the situation where the sieging army has breached a wall with towers and then attempted to exit the settlement back down the siege towers. What the hell? When a gate tower was close and more accessible. Okay, okay, that was just some silly pet finding out. Fixed a bug where the steam tank fatigue would continue to rise when it set idle. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Steam tank no longer get exhausted by standing around. This was actually annoying. The steam tank is supposed to be next to impenetrable, not take damage, and when it gets exhausted, would take serious damage. Alistair, the White Lion, can no longer be dismembered. Dismembered. It's a weird word. Dismembered. Cut off limbs. Okay, they put it right. Cut off limbs, so I got it right. They're gonna he no longer can lose limbs because he just drops dead, and enemy ignores him. He's just staying dead on the ground, pretending dead, and then 5 minutes later, the elf ambulance arrives and brings him to hospital with all limbs attached. Remove the wind up. I thought this was a typo, and I thought this would be like disbanded because, you know, he was a legendary lord, unique hero. The wording was wrong, but actually he cannot long lose limbs, heads, or you know, cut in half. Like this one time, I'm playing with Voice of Chaos, and I attack the Bright Wizard, and his head's like drops from his shoulders. He's like he got beheaded. At the end of the battle, he's alive with 1 health. So yeah. This is the Warhammer 1 broken heroes which never been fixed. As the heroes always survive 1 HP if the Lord they're no longer commanding the army. You guys remember the Warhammer 1 HP heroes? I'm so glad we no longer play Warhammer 1 because that was bullshit. Yeah, because heroes would not die, they would always drop to 1 health. How did they manage to have the game for so long without fixing that? It's one of the many reasons not to touch Warhammer 1 ever again. Units will now more easily route from the Abyss battle map. Okay. Fix the bug where in some cases rampaging units could follow routing units outside the playable area. I think I've seen this. Fix the Blackfire Pass map where some elements would pop into obviously. Tidied up the collision in the Rock Atoll free-for-all battle map. Improve the collision on the Alvale Plain choke point battle map. Removed unnecessary impassable area on the Bladewind Pass choke point map. Tidy up the trees in the Blightwater choke point battle map. Okay. The cannot move effect of Net of Amitok now correctly stops skirmishers from pursuing their target with an attack order. Add that collision to an outcrop of rocks across the river of Frigid 4 choke point battle map. Improved terror movement during melee animations. Oh, this is actually good because they would look a little silly. Improve the chances of Eagle Phoenix units using match command animations when melee attacking humanoid units. with melee attacking human units. Okay. Fix the speed buff on the cavalryman skill. Speed buff on the cavalryman skill. What do they refer to as the cavalryman skill? The cavalryman skill. Maybe somebody can Google this. I can't remember on the top of my head. When in dispute with a hirsute brute, apply the boot with a firm doot. What the fuck am I reading this shit? They're trolling us here. They know somebody would read this stuff. Improve the collision on the squiggly beast battle map and fix some floating rocks. Speeded up the Hell Blaster fire animation. Hell yeah! So it's not like shoot. Then the barrels, go top. Shoot. It's, I think it's 3 times, not 4 times. So this should be much faster now, which means the Hell Blaster will have better rate of fire. And this is the related to the Hell Blaster buff, which makes the Hell Blasters way more powerful. Okay. Fix the bug where the player could put into a unit into rampage during a battle, but then break the command by issuing a movement order before the rampage. Fix cases where rogue army great cannons couldn't fire in battles. Man, rogue armies have a lot of issues. We discovered some campaign issues with rogue armies. It's like they are fishing. They're just going around trying to attack something, or just standing in spot. But the fact they have issues, so many issues in battles as well, I guess it's a new thing. It's a new thing. Now that the real people are playing them on Legendary as well, people probably reporting much of these bugs. Improve the accuracy of the Chaos Hell Cannons. Well, this is a bunch of shit, because the Hell Cannons got nerfed. We'll probably read more about this at the bottom. Added collision to the Fallen Dwarfs. Okay. Laboratory. Okay. Bye. Battle. Okay, what is this? Fix some instances where battle AI would not attack when it was clearly in their favor to do so. Ooh, this actually sounds good. This actually sounds good. Brain cells improving, boys. Brain cells improving. Who cares about laboratory? We might try some laboratory mode on my new PC, but I don't care about laboratory mode right now. We might have some fun laboratory mode when I get new PC. The Corruptor of the Shadowgate of Fate will now correctly die out when the enemy Beast Lord has been killed in the Horn of the Vault quest battle. The enemy Beastman lore will now show correctly with the Horde of the Vault quest battle. Just some fixes for the maps here. Cliffs. Okay, what is the next thing? Usability improvements. General. Remove the incorrectly listed life leeching skill from the Lore Master of Hoyt unit page in the game guide. Additional Chinese subtitles now work with the UI scaling above 100%. Fix some instances of an inconsistent voice acting. Fix the preview images for user-generated custom battle maps. Fix the tooltip on the SSAO option in the advanced graphics settings. Brightness and gamma sliders can now be seen to take effect in the game's front end. Fix a typo in check in the Dragonclaw physical quest description. Campaign, let's see. The text for epilogue and event will no longer appear too long to fit on the screen in certain resolutions and will scroll when necessary. Fix the subtitles in the Empire Factions Grand Campaign intro movie in Turkish. There's some changes to the language localization. One of the positive effects of the Temple of Mist reduced the movement range of local armies by 20%. Is now correctly colored green instead of red. Fix the no more link on the Menace Blow ability when mentioned by the advisor. Okay, localization. When multiple campaign cutscenes are queued to play subsequently, pressing escape will now skip all the cutscenes rather than just the first one. Interesting. Legendary Lord conversational voiceover is no longer positioned in 3D space, so it can always be heard if the player moves the camera. Okay. Fixed a harsh edge in the snow texture displayed in the pre-battle screen in the Palace of Wind region. There is actually this hard edge in the textures that are actually been in a lot of battlefields in the past, especially Warhammer 1, but most of them been fixed. Fix the lightning issue where a shadow has been cast in the northern area of the Qatar region without an obvious caster. Fixed an inconsistency with the trade icon for known factions between the diplomacy panel and the drop-down list on the right of the campaign HUD. Corrected some mistakes in the Polish advisor voiceover during flybys. Predicted income now updates when, for example, disbanding a general to remove his upkeep cost. You guys might have noticed when I disband the Lord, I click on the treasury, so it updates. Because the extra upkeep is not automatically registered when you're recruiting or disbanding. Same for moving heroes out in the army. But there is a change happening which updates at the end of the turn. So now it's updated in real time. Anything related to treasury changes can be forced to update when you click on the treasury. But looks like they fixed the last thing. Fix the link on how to display text for Vlad von Karsten. Okay. The movement range display indicating how far an enemy lord at sea is able to attack is now more accurate. Look at this, boys. Look at this. I swear, one time with the high AL stake list, I planned my movement correctly, and then all of a sudden, the enemy had more movement than the game was actually showing, and they bam attacked me and sucked my fleet. So look, there had been some issue here. The movement range display indicating how far an enemy lord at sea is able to attack is now more accurate. Because I was always put, just outside the range, and I got caught, and it was no movement showing that they had actually enough movement. This is now more accurate, so you can plan your movement more accurately as well. Okay. The start and end battle options for Quick Attacker are now displayed the incorrect color blue. How do you see how far an enemy lord can go? Click on the enemy lord on the campaign map. In most cases, it will tell you what is their movement. Of course, there might be something blocking them in the way, which might not be present at the start of the turn. So you have to guesstimate. It's always guesstimate. 100% ambush rate, but the army detects me and surrounds my ambusher with 3 stacks. Well, Spartan chance to detect and chance to ambush is a different thing. You may get detected at any times, but when the enemy army goes into your zone of control, you're gonna ambush them all with 100% chance. Instead of failing to ambush, they chance to intercept. It still doesn't mean they're not gonna detect you. When you're hiding, there's always chance to get detected. But if they get into your zone of control, you're gonna ambush them guaranteed. So it's separate from detection chance. "100% chance" means you're gonna ambush them if they get close to you. Doesn't mean you're gonna have 100% chance to stay hidden. It's separate. Hidden and ambush chance is different. Most ambushes fails because the army gets spotted. The hero and army unit icons no longer remain on land once the army has embarked into the sea. Okay. The The Fey Enchantress, Bretonnia, doesn't bob around so much in the campaign porthole. Oh man, finally. The attitude displayed during the campaign entrance sequence now correctly represents the player's attitude towards the faction instead of the faction's attitude towards the player. Yeah, I noticed this. Fix where the text in the right's window said that the player didn't have enough warpstone to perform a ride, which caused 0 warpstone. Good shit. The amount of warpstone on the settlement information tooltip when displayed as Skaven is now more frequently updated. Fix the technologies listed in the Mortal Empire's objectives panel in co-op mode. When starting the Mortal Empire's campaign as Skarsnik of Crooked Moon or Wurzak of the Bloody Hands, the correct green screen loading screen will now show up instead of the Dwarf's loading screen. Honestly, who cares about those loading screens? Corrected the tooltip description for enemy territory right attrition from Great Agitation of Xar. Stopped the Greyseer lord from moving around so much on the campaign map when placed into raid stands. Greyseers. Fix an issue when a previously loaded race's music will play when loading a save from another race. Okay. Improved some areas of the Shroud of the Vortex map which were incorrectly removing terrain. Carl Francis' idle animation on the campaign map has been visually improved. Good stuff, good stuff. Fixed some instances where tooltips were not displaying correctly for some buildings within the damaged buildings panel. A war declared event message is now displayed when an enemy ally joins the enemy in war against the player. Okay, this is actually a good thing because it's easy to miss these things. Happened to me several times in the past. So joining a war is like less important to display than actually, you know, showing that the war was being declared by joining the war. Now you can actually see this more clearly, as this is actually easy to miss. Changed an incorrect reference to morale to leadership with one of the Dwarven naval traits. Yeah, the morale has been mentioned on some of these naval traits. Fix a typo in Dwarven greeting in diplomacy. Grudge narrowly avoided. Phew. Typo. Gap. Gorbul. The Gorbul skill tree icon should now use the correct icons. So typos. Typo. Okay. Just get a drink before we can read the rest. Okay. Where were we? Where were we? We are now on the battle stuff. Fix the bug that causes the unit portholes to sometimes become silhouettes when changing graphic settings during a battle. Other cast animations while Dark Elf Sorceress units on Dark Pegasus are flying. Fixing the portals battle when playing with die Affinity, which weren't displaying correctly when some resolutions. Okay, this is a bug fix, nothing important here. Fix the Ember Wizard voice over the battlefield. He was previously silent in some cases. Typo. Shadows. Fix soften the edge of shadows in the far distance of battle maps. The intro for the War Crown of Safari quest battle will no longer be cut off abruptly when loaded through the campaign. Improve the melee sound effects when two squeak herds attack each other. Squeak on squeak action. Remove some terrain that would appear and disappear depending on camera angle from the Crooked Fang Fort map. Oratory, exiting Steam overlay. Corrected a broken texture on Colic Sun Eater's tail. How could they had a broken texture on the mighty Colic? Mandala is just a troll. Fix some missing textures on the orc boy's teeth and hair. Female Glade Lords should now apply animation when firing whilst moving. Okay. Adjust lava visuals to remove extremes that cause lava to show as either too dark or too bright. Lords with long names should now fit correctly in the text box within the post-battle screen. Pick some black textures on some of the warriors of Dragonfire Pass Regiment renowned dwarf units. General AI changes. Man, this patch had a lot of improvements to the AI. Hopefully it's not gonna cause any further issues or further AI issues. AI to respect climates a little more when making an occupation decision. This already sounds good. AI to respect climates a little more when making an occupation decision. So Bretonnia doesn't occupy everything in Chaotic Wasteland and then forgets defending the Bretonnian kingdoms and just starts living in Norsca instead. AI to use normal personalities on normal difficulty, not easy variants. So normal used to use easy because normal is not normal. Increased AI priority to attack forces. Holy shit, brain cells increasing, guys. It's getting smarter, it's learning. Signs of intelligent life. Defensive personalities behave slightly more defensive. Praise Sigmar. Might not see those Varg bastards defensive conquering half the map. Maybe even the high elves. Minor improvements to general AI strategic behavior. Holy shit, guys, Skynet! They're building it! They're building Skynet! Brain cells increasing! Man, I can no longer give this game 6 brain cells. After this patch, it looks like it's gonna have like 8 brain cells. Even before people start complaining game too hard now. AI switch from early to mid-game behavior earlier makes AI more active on map and diplomacy. Oh boy, they added some processing power to the AI as well. AI more likely to declare war on factions that own victory condition regions. Ooh. Added AI victory condition regions for a few Mortal Empire factions. Oh boy. Reduce chance of AI using a quest or offer joint war diplomatic action. Hallelujah. Thank Sigmar. Whoever is up there. Whoever is up there. It was a bit random and at times it make no sense. Skaven are now included in Great Power Mechanic, so they're gonna be seen also as the bad guys when they grow in power. And guys, looks like we are at the point where the this might mean the greenskins are actually gonna be power to be recognized or still at the bottom of the shit pile. Changes for the greenskins: steady low increase of fightiness for AI greenskins. So to me this sounds like the AI greenskins will now be able to get more VAS and keep the VAS longer. Increased recruitment capabilities for greenskins. Oh boy. Another buff for greenskins. And let me tell you one thing, guys. In the email I received with the early access, there are some known issues of of the game. Among these issues, I'm not gonna say all of them. We don't wanna spoil things, but one of these things in the email says this is gonna get fixed on the release. It says one of the issues. I mean, who knows who plays the game? It's gonna different from player to player. But one of these issues was that the greenskins AI is too strong as the adversary. The greenskins are too powerful as the enemy, and this is gonna get fixed by the release. So they. Looks like these 3 buffs made the greenskins so strong they're already nerfing the greenskins before the release. So it looks like the Smorkers might actually beat the Stunties every now and then now. Minor improvements to construction and recruitment. So this is this might be the best thing about this patch note so far. This might be the best thing, other than improving AI, granting AI more brain cells, fixing the battle difficulty. This might be the best change so far in the patch. Okay. Norska scum, doesn't say scum here, but they're scum. Reduced income, reduced financial budget in the early game. It's like, what the fuck were they waiting for all this time? This also might come on top of the changes to the greenskins and even dwarves. Auto-resolver changes. What does any of this mean? So, you're talking about the greenskins? The steady low increase of fightness for AI greenskins. The greenskins need fightiness to prevent attrition from fighting each other, to get free armies called VAS. So every greenskin army will now more often have a bonus army to make them more powerful. Increased recruitment capabilities for greenskins. I'm hoping recruitment logic here, better unit setups, because their unit setups were pathetic. Like a bunch of goblins most of the time. Minor improvements to construction recruitment. It's probably cheaper, and the building, the logic of these buildings as well. Overall, sounds like great changes. Norska had more money income in those frozen shithole wasteland than the dwarf capital. So the Norska reduced income was long waited, and hallelujah. No longer Norska prints money in the north in the units, and since the units are dirt cheap, spending 1 million armies and causing a huge imbalance in the campaign in the north, Kislev should be at a stalemate with Norska, not Kislev overwhelming Norska and Norska overwhelming Kislev. Okay. So auto-resolver changes. This might also go very well with the greenskin changes. Auto-resolver damage output now constant. So less RNG to what happens with the unit damage. Fixed auto-resolver producing invincible units in very rare cases, like that Sigvald yesterday with 25 character skill points murdering 2 Empire armies. This is probably was the case, what happened with Sigvald yesterday. There is no other explanation. Fix auto-resolver not counting reinforcements correctly in some cases. We all read about this. This looks like the best patch so far, guys. Best patch so far. When we're not even at the best part, I think. Difficulty changes. Reduce upkeep bonus for AI. Dark Elves, anyone? Dwarves, anyone? Removed economy bonus for AI. Reduced late game scaling of AI economies. This makes the late game really insane with a lot of actions. Like Wood Elves being number 3 with 5 settlements. Hey Tucker! Increased recruitment capacity for AI based on difficulty. So the AI will be able to recruit now even more units per turn depending on difficulty. They used to recruit like extra 2, I think, on legendary. They now might be able to recruit extra 3 or extra 4. So they can recover from losses faster. This definitely adds some difficulty to the legendary, but in a way makes them better against AI on AI action. Like for example, Border Princes or any minor faction losing all military, and since they take them too long to recover, because they remove those idle times from the factions from the Warhammer 1, where a faction will go idle, do nothing, and then 50 turns later recruit 10 armies. So this might increase the chances of faction recovering after suffering huge defeats, and not just losing all their territories immediately. So this sounds like a good change. Definitely a lot of AI improvements with this patch so far. Reduce construction and recruitment costs for AI based on difficulty. Removed free technologies for AI and scaled based on difficulty. Research rate reduced for AI based on difficulty. A lot of people were wondering about technologies and the AI. Does the AI even get technologies? How does AI researchers? The AI pretty much gets free technologies over time. The way I seen it, because I seen stats increases and other things increases. So some of these are not very clear. Do they make the game more difficult and higher difficulties, or they scaled it down? This definitely sounds like a nerf. This definitely sounds a nerf as well. This is they might have went overkill with this, so they're toning it down a little. So this is a great change, especially now since all the AI improvements. It looks like you know what people say. I don't want to play the game where the AI is cheating. I want a smarter AI, and this is the patch where you get a smarter AI from the looks of it, with less cheating for the AI. So even lower difficulties might be more challenging now. Battle changes. A minor reduction to melee defense gain from unit rank increases. We noticed that, I mean guys, we were talking about this a lot of times. The units get huge melee defense from experience, to the point where the Rise Guard gets over 12 melee defense from rank 0 to rank 9, which is huge for shock cavalry. So the melee defense was definitely out of control from experience. Does this mean the attack will now scale proper, or just gonna leave attack where it is? But yeah, this is expected. The veterans was way too powerful on some units, would turn the units really tanky. Minor cost increases to unit rank increases. Oh, look at this! They make veterans harder to acquire. So another great change. Another great change. Bracing bonus now caps at 6 ranks, previously 7. This is, I think, from the how many ranks the unit is positioned. It's really not really clear the wording. So if you make the line 6 deep, now it's gonna be the bracing bonus, the cap. It used to be at 7. So basically, I think this is about unit density, how they receive a charge. So it's gonna be better at bracing now with just 6 ranks. Well, sometimes a faction loses their armies, or they are recruiting a new army. So what they do, they send all the heroes into that army and start recruiting units. That's a normal behavior. When you're desperate, you'll do everything in your power in order to get your military back up. So sending all your heroes into the army as a temporary force works wonders. And that's a very good behavior. That's, in my opinion, it's not even a glitch, that behavior. Because what do you want to expect? The AI to bend over and die? Better to recruit a lord and put all heroes in a single army and try to survive. Oh, KC has probably crying tears of joy. KC, Capricorn champion, another Troll War streamer. He's been blaming me personally for this nerf, but they're finally buffing it again because they were over nerfed the towers. They over nerfed the towers, and looks like they're buffing it again. Hopefully the towers will now be solid. I mean, yesterday I had a battle against 3 Wood Elf armies in Skaven Blight, and it looked so bad that like the towers and the walls were useless. It's like the Wave Watchers like would laugh at my towers, laugh at the towers murder, but in the walls are deployed in the center. With this fix, it might be worth it again to mend the walls and the towers against the long range units. Okay. Minor increase in vigor recover when idle. Oh, that's a nice change. So when the units are idle, they're recovering vigor faster. All breath attack cooldown times increase to 6 seconds and damage reduced or shifted from single target damage to area of effect damage. It looks like a small nerf to the breath attacks. So this to me looks like Star Dragon has been nerfed. Does more AoE, less single target damage. Because the Star Dragon breath is very powerful. Really powerful. Note that most accuracy changes below are very minor adjustments. Yeah guys, there is a hidden stat in the game, accuracy. All range units have it, they gain more with experience. I think it's under marksmanship, something like that. Reduce the attack rate of chariots when repeatedly colliding with the same target. Oh shit. No longer a chariot will go into an entity and that entity will just like lose health like it's getting dragged 5 miles along the road. So this has been fixed. I mean, it makes sense in the sense of the chariot, but it made the chariot overpowered. So it made sense, but for the gameplay perspective, it was almost broken. Infantry characters should now be knocked around less frequently than before. So they must have increased the density of the units. Flammable units now only what? Flammable units now only minus 25% flame weakness. Okay. This is for the quick battles. Category caps max 9 for missile infantry, monsters, and beasts, cavalry, and chariots. So you can have only 9. And Doom wheels limited to max 2 in quick battle. More Doom wheels. Never enough Doom wheels. This doesn't go well with the Skaven scheme. Unit balancing. We already compared a lot of these units. I did it with the Fenrir. We did comparison on a lot of these units, so we already know most of this. So Bestigor's got a small nerf. Lost some melee defense, no big deal. Ungor Herd lost leadership, got charge bonus. Ungor Spearman Herd lost HP. Ungor Spearman Herd with shields lost leadership, lost HP. Looks like they nerfed Ungor Spearman Herds. Are you fucking serious? This is all the beastmen use in the campaign. Goddamn multiplayer. This unit's effective in multiplayer, but absolute trash in single player. Let the fucking beastmen have gore herds, bestigors, scale spawn, More Centigors. They need to. The Beastmen are absolute trash in the campaign. It's laughable how bad they are. Worse than Greenskins in some cases. They're nerfing their core unit here. Goreherd got more melee defense and speed is nice. Goreherds are actually solid units. Looks like Goreherds got buffed. So their trash unit got nerfed. Their Goreherd is basically like orc boys, while the Ungor spearmen are like goblins. The AI should have more of the Goreherds, Chaos Spawns, Centigors, them pigs, and the other things, and less these Ungors. I don't think, other than a newly recruited Beast Lord from the Horde, no freshly spawned Beastmen should ever have a Ungor unit in their army, unless it's an Ungor Raider and not 10 of them. Because Ungor Raiders are solid, but 10 of them, the more they have, the worse it is. What does minus 1 HP means? It's minus 1 health point per entity. So let's say a Ungor has 120 or 160 entities, buttons, each of them lose 1 health. So the unit as a whole loses 120 or 160 health depending on the scale you're playing. So on Ultra, 160 health. Centigors lost 2 HP, so on Ultra scale it's a loss of 120 health. Centigors with great weapons removed splash attacks. No splash attacks anymore. What the fuck are we gonna recruit these units? It's not like we used this unit before. Reduce inconsistent power spikes in some matchups. Smells like a stinky multiplayer here as well. Plus 2 charge bonus. Reservoir Herd got buffed, looks like again. Plus 6 HP and plus 3 leadership, that's actually pretty good. Reservoir Herd is a nice unit if you get the building for it. It's actually nice. Also them spike pigs, nice to use to cause chaos in the enemy army. So they're gonna be tougher and gonna fight longer. Manticore got its attack interval buffed. Minus 0.4, so Manticore will be attacking faster now. This looks like a big nerf for the great weapons on the Centigors, big nerf. Cygor again, they nerfed marksmanship. The hell? Skill in shooting, okay. Not skill in shooting a bow. So, Cygor got accuracy nerf again. No longer, I mean, who are we kidding, guys? The AI Cygor have pinpoint accuracy. Have you guys seen that last time I fought a Cygor with the Dwarves? He got over 200 kills. I need to learn how this AI gets 200 kills with a Cygor. Cygor lost accuracy again. Cygor lost accuracy again. Giant got more health. Giant only has over 12,000 health, so getting 400 more health, not a real big deal, but sure, why not? Khazarg is cheaper. Okay, this is the good stuff now. We are at the good stuff now. Keep in mind, if you missed the early part of the Bretonnia update, Bretonnia. This video will be on highlights and on YouTube, so you can watch all of it. This update is not just Tomb King's release, but also Scotty. Any smart person these days use incognito browsing, even on their own PCs. So whatever I'm talking about before I got interrupted. Yeah, this update is about Tomb Kings and Bretonnia. Bretonnia got most of the buffs. Pretty much you can say this is update Bretonnia 2.0. So Bretonnia here, most melee infantry got health increases. That's nice. I might actually consider using some peasant armies with artillery. Some classic army. Bretonnia is the faction with which can pull out the classic army the best. Like having a battle line, your support units, your archers, artillery, and then your cavalry at the flanks. You know, with exclusion of the flying cavalry and the heroes. They actually been lacking because they've got nerfed so many times because the multiplayer, the peasants were never really worth it. So now I might actually make a couple of flavor armies in Bretonnia with peasant battle lines, flanking knights, peasant bowmen supporting with artillery as well. So like a classic Total War composition, like we're playing Medieval Total War or some shit. So most melee infantry got HP increases. Foot squires are faster. I still do not recognize this in this tier 4. The peasant bowmen with fire arrows, they lost some damage. The regular projectile damage, which don't really matter much when they get +1 AP. Cheaper Knights Errant got more HP, more charge bonus. That's nice. And the questing knights got looks like got nerfed. Nerfed and doesn't look like really like a nerf. They lost charge bonus. This is, I think, again they nerfed charge bonus on quest knights because the questing knights is a really good unit all around. This is like a unit on tier 3 and can be used in the end game. That's how strong the quest knight. Initial quest knight release, it was a very powerful unit. The quest knight is one of those units which is just too good, like the Dam Griffs. Except this one comes to tier 3. This one comes to tier 3. So they lost a 6 charge bonus, but they gained 2 melee attack. Don't care if they lose 6 charge bonus, they gain melee attack. So melee attack on armor piercing units is really strong because helps them deliver that juicy damage. Increases the chance of delivering that juicy damage. They get more base damage and more AP damage, but they attack slightly slower. So melee attack and the AP damage is nice. Nerfing charge doesn't really matter. Nerfing charge on armor piercing cavalry. You know, it's definitely noticeable, but since they buffed both melee attack and AP damage, so the charge bonus adds when they're charging to their melee attack and their weapon strength. And they get melee attack all times now with more damage. So this 6 charge bonus nerf is gonna be barely noticeable because their base stats got buffed full time, not only while charging. The Tomb Kings, what? I'm not starting Tomb Kings today, tomorrow. The Questing Knights is a already very strong unit, and looks like 2 not very relevant nerfs with nice buffs. You guys seen me use tier 3 units to defeat the Wood Elves, destroy the whole forest, finish 2 campaigns in the past with just tier 3 units as well. Knights of the Realm and Quest Knights, already very strong units. It's a fast, hard-hitting unit. Guild Guardians lost some damage, got gain AP damage, so basically they didn't lose any damage. Guild Guardians did not have very good AP, now they actually gonna have decent AP. Who cares about regular damage and gain AP damage? AP is armor piercing damage, it ignores armor. Goes over the armor. They gain melee attack, charge bonus, HP, loss of speed. Looks like overall Guild Guardians got buffed. The Guild Guardians got buffed. They nerfed the speed a little. I mean, the Guild Guardians are heavy armor cavalry. Keep in mind, Bretonnia has a new technology which buffs the speed on the knights, and there is also a trait which buffs the speed. So losing 5 speed here is really like nothing really. This is a very heavy unit, it should be slower. The Bretonnian cavalry is quite fast for how much armor they have, especially Guild Guardians. Guild Knights lost some damage, regular damage, gain AP. They lost 2 melee attack and 2 charge bonus. So looks like definitely looks like a nerf to Guild Knights, but they're getting 3 AP damage is nice. Losing melee attack sucks. Melee attack is very important to cavalry. Very important to cavalry. MP cost is a multiplayer cost in multiplayer battles. Mounted yeoman archers minor accuracy buff, so they buffed the accuracy on the horse archers. Pegasus Knights got more mass and more charge bonus. All Pegasus got faster movement on the ground. Royal Hippogriff Knights got more melee defense, lost some regular damage but gained 9 AP. The Royal Hippogriff Knights are all the hard-hitting armor-piercing units. The regular damage is pointless in these units because most of the damage is armor-piercing. So this is okay. Which means the weapon strength buffs will scale better with even more damage. I think right now with the new update you can buff Bretonnia Knights with plus 27% weapon strength on cavalry, which is quite crazy. Hopefully they did not glitch the weapon strength technology by making it weapon damage and not weapon strength, because the armor piercing damage needs to be buffed. So getting 27 weapon strength while most of the damage is now AP, with other units also have more AP, Bretonnia Knights is going to be doing a lot of damage, more damage than all the other knights in the game, only comparable to demigriffs. Trebuchet got accuracy, explosion damage, and explosion AP damage, so buff for Trebuchet, very nice. Artillery crew got more health. Green Knight lost, looks like all regular damage is now armor piercing. They removed his armor. His armor doesn't really matter. He's ethereal. The armor ethereal unit is powerful, but it's not a big deal. And his attack now ability buffs armor piercing damage. Albrecht got 3 melee attack, that's nice. Albrecht needs more buffs, he's don't want them being a regular generic lord. The Tomb Kings are getting released alongside this update in about 5 days. On my stream we are starting with this tomorrow. I already had early access for the last 6 days. I already seen a lot of these unit changes, changed the battle difficulty, and personally I did not play any of the Tomb Kings or check the new Skaven Lord. So Chaos Warrior got some buffs. The biggest nerf is probably Hell Cannon, which we already find out. So let's start with the Chaos Warriors got more melee attack, Chosen got more health, Chosen Great Weapons got good buff, more melee attack, melee defense, AP damage. The Chosen Great Weapons should be one of the deadliest units in the game, and I'm glad they keep buffing the Chosen Great Weapons. When you're facing Chosen Great Weapons, not only you should sweat like a pig, but you should you shake your pajamas and your other things as well. Facing Chosen should be scary. Going into melee with Chosen should be a death sentence, and I'm glad they're still buffing Chosen units. Especially now, since the very hard being in the game again, the Chosen will be chosen again, second to none. Okay. Some minor buff to the, I mean this is health to Chosen Halberds. So Marauder Horsemen, they're more mobile now. Not sure what this means. Maybe speed buff, maybe they're responding better as a whole unit, so maneuvering around. The regular Marauder Horsemen, they got 2 melee defense, so they survive longer when they go into melee. The Chaos Knights got another buff to health. The Chaos Knights, it looks like they're making Chaos Knights the tankiest knights in the game. Chaos Knights already have 50 base melee defense with some of the strongest armor in the game. They can get physical resistance, even more armor. Chaos Knights should really, if you ask me, be the toughest knights in the game. They're not best at offense like the Bretonnia Knights, but they're really hard to kill in melee. Unless you have really units that counter this. In melee, I'm talking about melee. Chaos Knights are hard countered by pretty much any cannon type artillery. Cannon type artillery and any anti-large cavalry. For example, if you're using Reichsguard with Karl Franz, which turns Reichsguard into anti-large with extra attack, Reichsguard is actually quite powerful with Karl Franz. The Chaos Knights have no chance in 1-1. So any anti-large is dead to Chaos Knights, but if the Chaos Knights get into melee units, into infantry, even most of the spears, they will do more than well enough. Especially deadly to greenskin units and the dwarves, if they get into melee. I would imagine the Skaven would also suffer against Chaos Knights unless you have them quality anti-large units. So another good buff here, I like when they buff the Chaos Knights. I want the Chaos Knights to be one of the best cavalry units in the game, but it seems they just keep buffing their defense, while the offense stays above average. Gorby's Chariot, the most powerful chariot in game, got buffed again. 2 melee attack, 2 melee defense. Guys, I can't wait to play the Chaos again. I will consider waiting Chaos until May, so we don't have to have a new Chaos. We're gonna have to make a poll about these guys, because it's up to you guys. Do we wait Chaos until May, or do we play Chaos earlier? But I will be using quite a bit of these Gorby's Chariots, because I like the Gorby's Chariot, one in the army before, but now, since they made the Gorby's Chariot best chariot in the game, I might even make some kind of chariot army with about 6 chariots. Gorby's Chariot has become a very powerful unit. This is probably the biggest nerf in the update. So it says here the Hell Cannon revert homing missile parameters higher accuracy. They lost 15 ammo from 40 to 25. They lost 20% reload time and damage. I mean, this is wrong. They actually gained rate of fire. This is a buff, while they lost 20% damage. It says here the inconsistent damage output of this weapon is very fitting for the faction, but not very most fun to play with. So more shots per minute, higher accuracy and less damage make it a bit more predictable, while reducing the benefit of using manual fire mode. I think they were watching my Hell Cannon videos. So what does this all mean? The Hell Cannon is much weaker manually, because it fires faster now with much less damage and has less ammunition. It's probably smells to me like another multiplayer change, so they make the Hell Cannons more viable in multiplayer. But what also this means that if you're using more than like 2 Hell Cannons in the armies, the Hell Cannons will be more reliable at destroying stuff while you are just targeting things with just, you know, fire at will, or just shoot that without manual fire. So Hell Cannon got buffed while fire at will and just you know, giving attack order, while manual fire got nerfed. So I think, you know, this looks like a bad nerf, but it's actually they reworked how the Hell Cannon works. They made it more reliable as an artillery piece to be used in quantity in the army, and not just you have 1 or 2 and then have some fun with the manual fire in the campaign battles. And looks like it might be more viable in the multiplayer now. So it's both a nerf and a buff, but I think it's more of a buff than a nerf. But I'm set to lose 20% damage in a Hell Cannon. So Manticores get more damage, more AP damage, they attack faster. Also is applied to the mounts. Dragon Ogres got leadership melee defense. Dragon Ogre Shagot lost 2 charge bonus. Oh my god, what will the Dragon Ogre Shagot do without that 2 charge bonus? Somebody had an OCD in the creative assembly. They said, oh man, I can't look at that 62. It has to be 60, 60 OCD improved number. So I'm pretty sure they had like 62 before, so from 62 they got lowered to 60. It's an OCD change for sure. Coley got, Giant also got more HP for the Chaos. Archaeon got more damage. This is actually quite a nice buff for Archaeon. Archaeon is very tanky, but not really dangerous at, you know, it's like, I'm gonna go fight Archaeon. He's gonna be very hard to kill, but he's not such a good damage dealer, because the AI don't know how to use fire magic. And with this change, both player controlled Archaeon, which is already insane, and AI controlled Archaeon will be more powerful. Not only he gets more armor piercing damage, his Archaeon is not an armor piercing damage dealer. He's a tanky guy with really high damage. You know, it's sort of like Tyrion. He gonna get more splash attack targets. So he swings his swords like Sauron swinging his mace. 10 people gonna fly into the air. It looks like on his horse he even has more health now. Even more health. Sigvald also got buffed. More health, more damage. Good buff for Sigvald. The regular Chaos Lords got buffed as well. More damage, more health. Okay, Dark Elves. The Shades, dual and great weapons. Got charge bonus. Looks like the Witch Elf got nerfed. I never really used them in campaign map. Must be a multiplayer thing. Poison speed debuff reduced 20%. The duration reduced by 1 second. -3 leadership. Witch Elves definitely look like they got nerfed. Repel bolt thrower gains speed and range. That's nice. Movement speed. That's not the attack speed. We are starting in 22 hours with the Tomb Kings. Cold One Dread Knights gained 4 melee defense. That's nice. Looks like a War Hydra got buffed. Extra health and another use on the healing. What do we have here? Just costs. Who cares about costs? This is upkeep. Who cares? Now we are to the blue spores, the dwarfs. Longbeards got nerfed. They lost charge bonus and health. But is it really a nerf? They already have a lot of health, and the charge bonus did not really matter on the Longbeards. They gained mass. The way I see it, they already had a lot of health. The charge bonus doesn't matter. They gained mass. Come on, the Creative Assembly, admit it! There's a Longbeard balancing this patch. This is a buff to the Longbeard. It's not a nerf, it's a buff. That's a buff. It's like the peasants will know they lost charge bonus and health. That's a nerf. What the fuck is mass? Who cares? The Longbeards got nerfed. But anybody who knows their shit, you know, they're gonna know that this is a buff to the Longbeards and not a nerf. This is a buff to the Longbeards, not a nerf. What is mass? It's like their density, so they're gonna be tossed around less. So stuff like Vargeists and large units is gonna be less effective than Longbeards, and these are the actually units which counter the Longbeards. The Longbeards lost 200 health, because on Ultra Scale you have 100. Longbeards are countered by large units, and they got buffed against large units. The Longbeards with great weapons gained regular damage but lost AP damage. Doesn't really matter. It's another bullshit attempt at a nerf. They got mass there. The Longbeards already have powerful stats. This is one of the best tier 3 units in the game. You can use this unit from when you unlock it to the end of the game. The Regiment of Renowned Dwarf Warriors lost 2 melee defense. No big deal. They started rank 9. They lost 2 melee defense. Why? Because they changed how the experience, how the veterancy works on the melee defense. So since they are already on rank 9, this can tell you that they probably put the melee defense values still above Warhammer 1, but closer to Warhammer 1 than was to be in Warhammer 2. So they lost 2 melee defense because of their veterancy. Because they lower the amount of melee defense gained by the experience / veterancy. Ironbreakers. Holy shit, look at this buff. Look at this buff. This is what I'm talking about. Plus 200 health, plus 2 HP per model, plus 2 AP. Finally, Ironbreakers do more damage than the Longbeards. They're gonna have 10 AP, then another AP from the technology, 11 AP, and 70 mass. That's a nice buff on the Ironbreakers. You get the Grim Airs for the extra attack, give him some experience for extra attack, and they're gonna deal damage in melee now. Iron Breakers got a nice buff. I mean, guys, I was only talking about this while they're doing this. So the nerf to Dwarf Warriors on the technologies made you wanna get Longbeards earlier, made you wanna use Longbeards earlier, and nerf on the Longbeards makes you wanna use Iron Breakers earlier and actually consider really replacing Longbeards for the Iron Breakers and not just keep using Longbeards. So this is this gives you incentive to, you know, upgrade to higher tier units and not rely so much on overpowered lower tier units like the Dwarf Warriors and Longbeards. I mean, Dwarf Warriors should be replaced at some point unless you're forcing flavor with the Axe Lord like we do in the Roman army. But in the High King army, you don't need to change the Longbeards. Even with the changes, the Longbeards are still powerful unit. They what they are meant for, they're one of the best units in the game. So you don't need to get the Iron Breakers really. But they're giving you some you know, incentive to replace those Longbeards with Iron Breakers. By doing so, you know, reducing your upkeep while increasing the strength of the current army. These are good changes. The battle difficulty has been fixed, Omen. It's been fixed. Very hard is back in the game. This patch has a lot of AI improvements. I dare say the AI gained at least one brain cell. This is a huge patch, a lot of AI improvements. It looks like they made the AI cheat less and make better decisions, or, you know, have more brain cells to try to make better decisions. Time will tell. Time will tell. Rangers lost some melee defense but gain acceleration, so how fast they get to, you know, start running. Bugman's Rangers, another huge buff. I love this. I love this. But still, unless I see Rangers on the tactician list, who cares? Rangers just for the Ranger armies. There's a huge buff on the Bugman's Rangers. Huge buff. 4 melee attack, 4 HP, charge defense against large, more acceleration, more mass. The Bugman Rangers are already very strong. For the Ranger armies, Bugman Rangers, you know, the only thing not to get them over the regular Rangers because they take twice as long to recruit. And you can recruit rank 9 Bugman's Rangers at the Zuvbar. Bugman Rangers for the Ranger armies OP now. OP. Gyrocopter with a brimstone gun got accuracy, which is nice. It's already pretty accurate. Well, they did say that the dwarves got nerfed, but did not say exactly what. All these updates matter to the player more than they matter to the AI. Icarus, you were not here earlier when we read about the dwarf nerfs. They said the dwarves should be less powerful now in both campaigns, but didn't say exactly what. These are unit changes. These are unit changes. Unit buffs don't really matter much when the AI has ridiculous bonuses to income and everything else. You need to go watch this video like an hour before to comprehend what we're talking about here. Gyro Bomber and Gyrocopter slow the active duration bombability, allowing rapid dropping, so you can drop bombs faster. So the Gyro Bombers got buffed as well. They're faster. Their gun is now shoots explosives, so they're much stronger now. Skyhammer lost reload and accuracy. This is probably related to the experience. The Garage Thrower gained accuracy and explosion damage. That's huge. That's huge. The Garage Thrower is already very effective with that explosion damage. And when you have a Master Engineers next to Garage Throwers, they gain 10% more explosive damage. Runkel, they don't really cover in what detail, but it's probably because of those reduced things. Yeah, it's probably related to that. We don't really get really in detail. It's connected to only dwarves or other factions, because if this is related to all the factions and not just dwarves, you know, to that point, some of the factions were really gotten much weaker. Organ gun lost some accuracy, no big deal. Rank 9 organ guns, still rank 9. Flame cannon got 30 range and 10 explosion AP damage and projectile tweaks, hopefully the speed of the projectiles. This might make the flame cannon usable. I still think it's a piece of crap. I'm not recognizing this as a tier 5 unit. Organ gun should be a tier 5 unit. So let's see, we'll see this in the next campaign if this is gonna be any good. So right now the flame cannon has 200 range. There is a master engineer buffing the range by 9% and the technology buffing the range by 15%. So their base range goes to 230, then another 9% gives it about 20 range. 250 range, and then another 15% on base gives them this is gonna have a range of the second buff organ guns. We're gonna be around 275, maybe 280 range, and that's usable. Then that's usable, especially because of the extra explosive damage. It's armor piercing damage, which is matters a lot. And if the projectile flies faster because of this range increase, it might actually be better than the grudge thrower. But if the projectile does not fly as fast, it doesn't matter. The grudge thrower is always going to be better than the flame cannon, especially with the buffs already done to the grudge thrower. The grudge thrower is a tier 2 artillery, while the flamethrower is tier 5. Grudge thrower always better than the flamethrower. You need to create a situation where the flamethrower can actually give you value. So unless you're one of them, try hard. This unit works 1 in a million years. The flamethrower was always going to get outshined by the grudge thrower. With this change, the goal is to make the flame cannon better than the grudge thrower. So you have a medium range, more powerful artillery piece, which can be more effective at short range than the grudge thrower. So most of the dwarf infantry got to gain mass. Artillery crew got more health. The leadership damaging abilities are less powerful if you're playing on a higher battle difficulty, as in very hard, where the difference between the player and the AI leadership is 14, and dwarves having already high leadership. So it's gonna have 10 more leadership on the enemy, depending. Really doesn't matter which race. The flame cannon ability is gonna feel underwhelming. I hope you tried it on very hard difficulty in custom battles. If it actually works in custom battles right now, because plus 10 leadership, sure. You can rout the enemy, but why rout the enemy? You can just kill them. Empire got a lot of changes as well in their units. Flagellants gained 7 melee attack, huge bonus. That's actually a lot of melee attack. They lost 4 damage, which is QQ. Tether Souls, which is the regiment of renowned Flagellants, they lost 6 charge bonus. Small multiplayer here. They gained 5 melee attack and lost 2 base damage. Halberdiers gain 1 armor piercing damage, so from 27 to go for 28, which means they also gonna have light wire now 31, still 31, one more, even 10% more. Oh. Crossbowmen have 1 more regular projectile damage. Great swords have 2 more melee attack. Melee attack on armor piercing units is amazing. And I love this greatsword change. So they are slightly faster. The nerf to the speed happened in Warhammer 2, so they're back probably to their old speed. With 2 more melee attack, it's actually quite nice. Emperor Knights got more health, more melee defense. This will help AI and help the garrisons. Rise Guard have more AP now. That's another buff to the Rise Guard armor piercing damage. I love the Rise Guard. The Rise Guard, I like the Rise Guard more than I like the Demigrips. Let's fool nobody here. the demiglyphs are more powerful. But the Rise Guard, not only very cool looking, they get so many buffs from so many different sources. And since they have 60 horses, they have a lot more impact than the 32 demiglyphs. The Rise Guard keep getting buffed, getting so many sources of buffs, and especially in Kalfran's army, just love it. There's like no reason to use demiglyphs in Kalfran's army unless you're not a fun person and ignore that battle skill. Flavor, boys, flavor. Use Rise Guard over demiglyphs in Kalfran's army. Trust me, it works. Rise Guard gets pretty powerful with anti-large. Just imagine it. Rise Guard is anti-infantry. Huge impact when they are charging infantry because they have 60 entities. A huge charge bonus. Now get more attack and anti-large for Kalfrans. They clear anything pretty much at the flanks. It's like 60 horses wanna be demiglyphs. Just cooler looking, cause you know who doesn't like Gothic Knights. Rise Guard will always have bigger impact killing infantry than the demiglyphs. Except demiglyphs will just you know, do it better in the long battle. Are Rise Guard faster than demiglyphs? No, demiglyphs are faster. Rise Guard is not really early game cavalry, cause they're still tier 4 because they did not change the smithy building. I think they're still tier 4. The foundation update changes the smithy building to be tier 2 and tier 3. Since this is still tier 3 and tier 4, Rise Guard is still tier 4, same as the great swords. Rise Guard is not early game. Rise Guard is like mid game, while the demiglyphs are the late game stuff. Keep in mind the Rise Guard is cheaper than the demiglyphs and not an overkill like the demiglyphs. Unless you're gonna use the halberds demiglyphs, you don't even need to use the demiglyphs. Rise Guard is a tier 3 building, but it requires a building to make to build them, and it's only not one building to recruit them. In the foundation update, they made the building, the second building, required for the Rise Guard tier 3. So the Rise Guard was tier 3 alongside Great Swords tier 3. But they forgot to do this in the Warhammer 2, or maybe just kept it as a balance change. Maybe probably just forgot. And the Rise Guard is tier 4 along with Great Swords. Rise Guard is not tier 3. They lowered the Knights of the Blazing Sun to tier 4. Okay. So demiglyphs got 12 more HP. Demiglyphs got 12 more HP. Pistoliers got nerf. Too little, too late. 1 missile damage. What the fuck is their AP damage? Still 1 AP damage, low ammunition. Fuck that shit, man. Just delete that unit from the game. This is the worst designed unit ever. Bad unit design. Bad unit design. Plus 5 HP. I thought you were spying on my channel, Creative Assembly. I told you, give them 1 AP if you want to make them average, 2 AP if you want to make them above average. Give them 10 health and 10 range. They're worrying they're gonna break the game if they listen to me, you know, overbuff them. Outriders got a nice buff. I love the buffs on the Outriders because I love the Outrider unit. I love the Outrider unit, especially now with the Warhammer 2. I'm definitely gonna be using more Outriders in the future. I just love shooting enemy in the back when they're fleeing. So Outrider got buffed. Hopefully the technology is no longer bugged and gives the Outriders rate of fire. Although the Outriders already have an insane rate of fire, maybe that's the reason why it doesn't add it anymore. But hopefully the technology fixed it. Hopefully technology fixed it. There is a technology for the improving the rate of fire on the these units, the what's it called, the crossbowmen and the handgunners, and included the Outriders as well. But it did not work on the Outriders, so they changed the technology to actually buff the Outriders as well. But the guy forgot to actually make the Outriders shoot, reload faster. So they put the Outriders on the list of the technology, but they did not make the Outriders do anything on the Outriders. So they did not apply that 15%, just put it on the technology list. Hopefully this was fixed. Outriders already deal a lot of armor piercing damage, so +1 AP damage is not a big deal, but it's just nice for them to do more damage. Outrider with grenade launcher got buffed, more range, more damage, and it's overall buffed the unit to make it more usable. Okay. So projectile damage with grenade launcher grenades is the secondary factor, as most of the damage comes from the explosion. The damage buff here mainly improves the overall damage up against large armor targets, making the unit a bit more versatile. So against like trolls, chaos spawn. Mortar reloads faster, more accuracy, nice buff. This is actually a big change. Hell Blaster, fire animation duration length reduced and projectile imbalance, read strong buff. So the Hell Blaster shooting animation is faster, so shoot, 9 barrels. This is gonna be much faster now, and pretty much high rate of fire equals more damage. Hell Blaster is a tier 5. It's was strong already when used right, but this might even be even stronger now. Can't wait to play the Emperor next time, guys. My Guild army awaits. I could play Guild army every day. Steam Tank got more melee damage. They nerfed the speed again, so now it's down to 48. More charge bonus, and they have a more charge distance. All of these got health increase. What do we have here? Karl Franz got more damage. They lowered his base damage, but gave him more AP damage. And on the Deathclaw even more. So Karl Franz is even better now as a damage dealer. High Elves looks like a nerf to White Lions. Multiplayer anyone. They gained regular damage but lost armor piercing damage. All archers lost accuracy. It's a hidden stat. It exists. Silver Helms got buffed 1 more HP. Great Eagle, Marika, plus 31 AP, minus 31 regular damage, 4 melee attack, 2 melee defense. What the hell? Huge buff. That unique building at Paramount confirmed, plus 5 experience rank to the new Eagle recruits. Marika got buffed. They made it armor piercing, more melee attack, melee defense, but still one Eagle. What can one Eagle do when you can have a dragon? Eternal Chariot, also one of the most powerful chariots in the game, got more melee attack and melee defense. Same as the Reaper Bolt Thrower, the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower got buffed, speed and range. Lizardmen, Chameleon's Kings lost melee defense, Croxigors gained +2 bonus versus large. Horn ones gained speed, melee defense, but still the Ramification Crystal lost number of casts. Who cares? They already had too many casts with low cooldown. Pterodon has more speed on the ground. Carnosaur has less mass, more hitbox size, and slower attacks. Hitbox size is good. They don't have to move as much. The Skin Chief lost some blowpipe ammo. Krogar looks like got nerfed. Lost armor and missile resistance. So Krogar is going to be easy to deal with the range now. Krogar on foot and Cole on Horde 1 got bonus versus large and more health. So Krogar on the on the Carnosaur got nerfed. So it's more vulnerable to range. Old Blood Carnosaur mount also -5 armor. This is the mount for the Old Blood Saurus. On foot, they also got buff 5% health. The Scar Veteran Carnosaur lost charge bonus, base damage, AP damage, armor. So looks like they're nerfing the Carnosaurs. Spell multiplayer here. The Scar Veteran lost base damage, gain AP damage. That's actually nice. They made the Scar Veteran hero more deadlier, making him armor piercing. That's nice. I like this. Carnosaur nerf is definitely a multiplayer thing, because the Carnosaurs are underwhelming compared to the Bastildons and Stegodons, simply because of how the battle skills works. Doom Wheels, they lost charge speed, melee attack, they gain regular damage, lost AP damage. Looks like the Doom Wheels got nerfed. Spell multiplayer here as well. The Night Tyrants got Rani, Strong Stars no longer ignore shields. Oh boy, how are they gonna deal damage now? Stone Vermin got buffed, +1 health, good buff. Artillery got health. Greenskins, look at them, Orc boys. They couldn't buff the melee attack without nerfing melee defense. Why? Orc boys gain attack, lost defense. Biggins got leadership. Arachnurok Spider got range increase from I think 60 or 70 to 100. China got health. Rock Lobsters. Rock Lobsters got accuracy. Artillery Crew got HP. Grimgor gained a bunch more damage. He now has a base 500 weapon strength. He's gonna hit like a wrecking ball and can get up to 55% more base weapon strength from the skill tree. Looking forward to play with Grimgor. He's gonna be one of the hardest hitting lords in the game now when he uses Gitsnik. Looks like Wood Elves got a bunch of nerfs. They nerfed the HP on the Eternal Guard. Dryads also melee attack. War Dancers got lost HP. Big nerf. 2 HP on the War Dancers. The Sarai Spears gain melee defense. Valud Rangers gain melee defense. Valud Rangers nice buff. Glare Guards gain more ammo, lost magical attacks, gain HP. Deepwood Scouts gain speed, gain HP. Deepwood Scout is Swift Shiver, double shot, lost 5 range. Wave Watchers got buffed, faster reload, projectile speed, more HP, more melee attack, more ammo, more charge bonus, more acceleration. Huge buff on the Wave Watchers. Huge buff. Glade Rider Segmain lost magical attacks. Great Eagle got buff, same as the other Eagle. The Great Eagle mounts same shit. Hawk Riders got buffed, huge buff, more fast on the ground, more mass, faster reload, more charge bonus, more HP, good buff for the Hawk Riders. I'm gonna highlight this. We have 10 minutes to go. I'm gonna save it as a highlight. Put it on YouTube as well. Trikin, look at that, huge buff. Lost some regular damage. Who cares about regular damage? Because they have a lot of regular damage, low AP compared to regular damage. Gain 6 AP, 15 missile resist, 3 kin, huge buff. They're only one of the tankiest units in the game. 3 men got the charge defense versus all, got some AP damage, missile resist, nice buff for 3 men as well. 3 kin and 3 men, nice buffs. Ancient 3 men looks like huge buff as well. Yeah, huge buff as well. Bunch of health. Durtu also got bunch of health. Forest Ring got some missile resist as well on the female Lead Lords. Lead Lords all multiplayer. Kin rates, charge bonus. All horses, health steeds got more speed. Black Knights, more melee attack, more AP. Faster attack, so Black Knights got buffed. Very good for the AI. Very Cleavers, more charge bonus. Hex rates, more speed. Vargeists got more ground speed. Some more armor piercing damage. Nice buff for Vargeists. Vargulf attacks slower but hits harder. It says here it's probably gonna make it tire slower while delivering more damage. Graveguard, great weapons got charge bonus. Terrorgeist got buffed the breath attack damage. The abilities, a bunch of these abilities are going to change. We don't have to go through all of it, because most of these numbers we don't even remember. But there's a lot of changes. The net of Amintok is probably the most significant change here. It removed the AoE effect. Overcast used to double it. Instead now Overcast gives the AoE effect. Looks like they changed some physical resistance buffs durations. Capped some stuff as well. Not really a lot of important stuff here. Spells, some changes as well. It's really pointless to read all this because it's hard to memorize all the costs. Some looks like buffs, some looks like nerfs, and this is pretty much it, boys. Looks like a great patch. We'll see if all this AI changes going to introduce any new issues or just bullshit. But looks to be a great patch to buff AI. Possibly the AI gain more brain cells. We'll see how the dwarves are affected and how is the greenskin affected with the changes. The dwarves are supposed to be less. There's supposed to be less overall spam of the armies in the late game for all factions. Greenskins are supposed to be more powerful now. Bretonnia is probably going to be more powerful as well. Empire is probably going to be more powerful as well. Talking about the AIs, not just the player-wise. Looks like a big patch so far. Biggest patch so far. Looking forward to play it from tomorrow. We are starting 5, 16, 21 hours from now. Gonna be where we are gonna start the Tomb Kings campaign. Today we're gonna be playing the Dwarves campaign. This is the last day of the Dwarf campaign. We might not be able to finish it because of the house tools are starting to show its tedious side. They are never-ending grudges, but this is a flaw with a grudge system. It's not properly tuned for the Mortal Empires. So we might just capture Lothern and probably campaign is gonna be considered finished. We're still gonna be playing for the rest of the day. So we're still gonna get some battles with wars, maybe get a PPO army, and fight some chaos. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna have to restart the stream here. I'm gonna put this as a highlight and also as the on the YouTube. I'll be back with a stream of the dwarves in about 10 to 15 minutes. So if you wanna watch the war campaign, stay here. I will be back up shortly.